Back at it again, and we've got to talk about the Avengers. Yeah. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
When he walked out of Madison Square Garden, it was bananas.
Really?
It
Went
was,
crazy.
the whole place was cheering. He walks out to Kid Rock's American Bad with Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson walking in like the right-wing Avengers. And the place went nuts. I'm telling you, the cheers of the crowd were nuts. I mean, it was overwhelmingly in support of him, and it lasted a long time. I mean, it was a roar. I mean, you had to hear what the crowd sounded like before he walked in, and then when he did. I mean, it was just overwhelming cheers for like over a minute. I mean, just imagine a minute of people screaming at the top of their lungs. Yeah.
So yeah, Joe Rogan called Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson, Dana White, and Kid Rock the right-wing Avengers. You know, I'd argue we should add some characters to the crew. You know, Matt Gaetz, Byron Donalds of the world. I think we should add some guys like that, of course. MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right, got to represent for the ladies. All right, into the Avengers crew, the right-wing Avengers crew. You know, but it goes to show that they are in trouble. The left is in major trouble. Now, yes, that's just one arena, one circumstance. I get it. But to come out and to hear the cheers like that. I mean, think about it this way. And I think Trump actually mentioned this not too long ago. How many times have we seen someone, you know, public figure, get hit with an indictment and then they disappear from public life? How many times have we seen that? Especially, or like somebody in politics like gets in trouble for something, right? They come out with some, you know, scripted apology or whatever, and they disappear. Yeah, a lot, right? Just about every single time that's the script. You come out, you apologize, and you disappear. You're gone. Not Trump. He's been indicted multiple times. Seems like thousands of charges. They're even trying to take his hotels from him in New York at this point, right? And he's still getting cheered on loudly, wherever he goes. That's insane. That's insane. Now, that's something that I don't think you can necessarily plan for, right? But the people of America get it. And I think that's what's going on right now. The people of America get it. And people like Joe Rogan really get it.
No one is going to run against Trump in the Republican side and win, because you're not going to get the Trump supporters. They are all in on Trump. Unless he has a stroke, unless something happens that's horrible, they're all in on Trump. If you run against Trump, you're now the enemy of Trump. If I was friends with DeSantis, I'd be like, don't do it. You can't beat that guy. You just can't. When that guy gets out there and he's waving to people and they're going crazy, you're not beating that. And the fact that he was the president for 4 years and the country was in a great economic situation, and it looked like his policies were actually effective, and that it looked like the unemployment was down, all business was building, regulations were being relaxed, more things were getting done. You know, when you look at it from a policy perspective, if you just look at it on paper, what he did was effective. A lot of people think it was effective. You don't like him as a personality, so you ignore that. Don't do that. Look at it in terms of a policy perspective. People liked the ideas that he was putting forward. And now you're saying like, oh, the wall is raised. No, everybody thinks there needs to be a wall. Even the mayor of New York City is now calling to stop immigration into his city. And this was the guy that called for it to be a sanctuary state. When the reality of what your policies, what kind of actions you put forth, what the results of that are, and those results are highly negative, you're forced to sort of recollect your thoughts and come up with a new perspective. And that's what the mayor of New York City is doing right now. When you just look at what Trump's policies were, and then obviously COVID hits, there's a lot to that, the lockdowns, the economic collapse, all the that came with that. None of that is good. And then Trump holds up this like hope to bring us back to where we were when he was in office. You're not going to beat that. I don't think they're going to beat that. I don't think when you look at the Russia collusion, when you look at the Steele dossier, when you look at all the bullshit they tried to throw at him that we now know is bullshit, not just bullshit, but coordinated bullshit. When you look at the fact that they suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story and that 51 intelligence agency representatives signed off on that to say that this was Russian disinformation, which they know is not true, that's scary. Because now you have the intelligence agencies colluding to keep a guy from being president that was president during a time where the country was thriving economically. You're not going to beat that guy.
Would he get your vote?
He'd get my vote before, excuse me, he'd get my vote before Biden. I said that before. I don't think that, I never thought that Biden was going to make it. I never thought that he was going to be functional. Like regardless of what kind of power the president actually has. And it appears under Trump, the president has a lot more power than we think they do. But under Biden, it's like he's handled. Like he's just out there talking and saying, the real problem is Donald Trump. Donald Trump, what he's done is terrible. What he did in the office. It's all nonsense. It's like everyone's treating him with kid gloves because they don't want to prop up Trump. They don't want to go after him because it'll weaken the Democratic Party.
Yeah. So when you have people like Joe Rogan out here saying stuff like that, that's major news. Major news because Joe Rogan is a major influential person. I mean, he's literally the biggest podcast. The biggest. By far. I would guess that it's not even close. Like Joe Rogan. When you think of podcasts, you think of Joe Rogan. He is on top when it comes to podcasts. So he has a major voice in all of this. And then on top of that, when you have instances like what I'm about to show you here, and I've shown you guys before, you're in major trouble. You cannot win. It's not going to happen, which is why I say, there's going to be some kind of wrench thrown into the mix at some point in time, in my humble opinion, because there's no way the establishment is going to lay down and get beaten this handily. Because right now they're getting beaten. If the election was today, they would lose. But I mean, it'd be a landslide. It'd be like 300 and something electoral votes to low twos. I'm just saying. Right. So when you have that type of situation laid out for you, they know it. The people who I assume are at the true top at the Democratic Party, I believe these are very intelligent individuals. They know. So it's just a matter of figuring out what it is that they have in store. I don't believe that they can do the same thing that they did before. First off, the polls are too. I mean, literally every poll now is showing Trump in the lead. Every single one. Like, when have you ever? Every single poll, every single one. Which, as we've seen, is putting the mainstream media in a bit of a panic and trying to explain that one away, which we've talked about in previous videos. So we're not gonna rag on that too much, but. It's just a matter of figuring out, are they going to like try to push Gavin Newsom out there somehow, some kind of way? But then how do you get rid of Kamala? Because you can't just go around Kamala. Even if Kamala comes out and says, you know what, I'm bowing out, people are going to scratch their heads at that. Like, nah, they forced her to say that, in my humble estimation. I believe that people will recognize, no, they're trying to push her out for a straight white man. So I doubt that one's going to work. And then from there, it's just like, I believe Trump is polling too high to do anything that she did before. They tried bringing back the whole beer bug situation. As you guys remember, this was what, maybe 6 months ago they were talking about it. Maybe not even that long ago. I don't know. My days have done this. Like, they just all get blended together. You guys remember they were coming out, they were saying, oh, new strand, guys, new strand. And nobody reacted to it. Everybody was just like, oh, okay. No, we don't care. Been there, done that. Y'all hit us with 4 different strands the first go around. We don't care this time. F you and your strand. And as you guys have noticed, it's been quiet about it recently, hasn't it? Weird how that works. It just all of a sudden, the beer bug just all of a sudden disappeared. Or at least from the mainstream media, it disappeared. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Interesting how that works. So WW3, I think that's truly a possibility. Obviously, with everything going on, I really do think that is a possibility. Kissing up to Trump, I think that's also a possibility because they see the writing on the wall. Also, I saw a piece that was talking about if Hillary allegedly, I don't know this with 100% certainty, but according to what I read, Hillary allegedly said that if Trump wins, she's leaving America. And you guys remember I talked about that in a previous video. I was like, or their plan is if they lose, when they lose, they'll just leave because they know what's coming down the pipeline. These folks are all connected. They're very, very wealthy. They all have a lot of money, so they can just go live off on some private island somewhere or just in some other country very, very easily. And basically nothing in their life changes because of the wealth and the connections that they have. Now, like I said, I don't know how true that statement is. I don't know if Hillary truly said that, but that was alleged. All right, that's what I read. Allegedly, Hillary said if Trump wins, she's leaving America, which I talked about that before. When they lose, they'll just leave because they know what's coming. Jail time and a lot of it. But let me show you guys this this video right here from a rapper by the name of Lil Pump. This is a new video. Check it out.
One thing to say, we want Trump. We want Trump. We want Trump. We want Trump. One thing to say, we want Trump. We want Trump. We want Trump. We want Trump.
So when you have rappers now that are coming out and, and have their crowds yelling, we want Trump, you're in serious trouble. Because according to Democrats, that's not allowed. If you are black and you don't support Joe, then you aren't black. So, yeah, and I've shown you guys videos of Waka Flocka who did the same thing. Lil Wayne, endorsed Trump, Kodak Black. So lots of different rappers have endorsed Donald Trump. And including The Rock even came out and basically said, nah, I ain't supporting Biden. Even though he supported Biden the first go round, now he said, no. And I showed you guys that video the other day. So yeah, I think they're in major trouble this go round, and there's no way out. I don't see a way out. I truly don't, unless they just leave the country. That's their only route out, or WW3. I take that back. There are a couple ways out. WW3 or they leave. That's it. Simple and plain. Y'all can let me know if you agree, disagree. Let me know in the comment section below. Peace and love. I'm out.